Welcome to the Corporate Work Study Program Supervisor Training. We want every supervisor working with our Notre Dame Cristo Rey students to have an understanding of the Corporate Work Study Program and have the best tools for working with our students. This presentation is a great resource for both new and returning supervisors to the Corporate Work Study Program. Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School in Lawrence combines an affordable Catholic college preparatory education with corporate work study experience for students from economically challenged families in the culturally sensitive tradition of the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur. The unique corporate work study program at NDCR is nothing short of a revolution in education, benefiting the most deserving young people from economically challenged communities. The fee paid by corporate partners offsets each student's worker's tuition at a private high school by roughly 60%. Students are literally working to earn their education at companies like Nuance Communications, Lawrence General Hospital, Mercury Systems, Mitre, and Raytheon, and over 70 regional businesses in and around the Merrimack Valley, Route 93, 128 corridors, and southern New Hampshire that range from Fortune 500 companies to community banks and local law and accounting firms. The young men and women at NDCR and 34 other schools across the country, all part of the nationally recognized Cristo Rey network, are defying the odds, proving daily that ambition, a solid education, and the investment of corporate America is a winning formula for success. In this training, we are going to cover three topics. First, we will discuss the larger family of the Cristo Rey network, of which Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School is a part, as well as background on Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School. Next, we will talk about some key CWSP policies, which all supervisors should be aware. Last, we will share some tips and tools for being a successful CWSP supervisor. The first Cristo Rey school was started in Pilsen Little Village in Chicago, Illinois. Catholic educators had found that it was getting more and more difficult for those students from families with limited income to afford going to a Catholic school. Founded by the Jesuits, Cristo Rey Jesuit High School opened in 1996 with a corporate work study program in order to help disadvantaged students and families get access to a college prep education and acceptance to college. After the model success in Chicago, funding came from a number of sources in 2003 to help replicate the formula around the country. B.J. Casson was originally approached by Cristo Rey Jesuit High School about funding for a new gym. After hearing about the school, B.J. Casson decided not to fund the gym, but rather provide the money to replicate the new model. B.J. Casson and the Casson Educational Initiative Foundation, as well as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, provided the seed money to complete feasibility studies in targeted cities in the U.S. This led to the start of 10 new schools opening in 2004 in the now Cristo Rey network, including our school, Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School in Lawrence, and Cristo Rey Boston in Dorchester. Since that time, the Cristo Rey network expanded to 35 schools in 22 states around the U.S. When you think about your participation in the Corporate Work Study program, realize you are part of a much larger community. There are 2,525 partners and almost 11,000 students participating in the Corporate Work Study program nationwide. In addition to the opportunities provided by the student experience in CWSP, students are also given the advantage of our partnership with 46 universities and colleges in the United States. Because of the reputation of the students in Cristo Rey high schools, our students rise to the top of the pile in the college application process. NDCR is a school sponsored and run by the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur. The sisters came to Lawrence, Mass. In 1859 to work with the children of the mill workers, and they have remained serving the newest immigrants through education and parish work, as well as working with citizenship and English as a second language. In addition to working with NDCR, sisters also staff the Notre Dame Education Center in Lawrence. Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur are recognized as outstanding educators, and over the years, thousands of sisters have taught children and adults on 5 continents. Although many sisters continue to staff schools, others have chosen to work with the homeless, AIDS patients, the elderly, poor, and countless others in need of help. All of this activity has one aim, to proclaim in our time, as St. Julie did in hers, that God is good. The Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School mission statement states that in the tradition of the Sisters of Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School provides a Catholic, affordable, culturally sensitive, college preparatory education enhanced by professional work experience for young men and women from families with limited income. In 2004, the Sisters of Notre Dame officially opened the doors of NDCR to 80 freshmen. In 2006, the school began a $5 million capital campaign to make improvements to the nearly 100-year-old building. The improvements transformed the building from an aging structure to a first-rate educational facility. The dramatic renovations were complete in September of 2009. In 2008, NDCR celebrated its first graduation. All 57 graduates were successfully accepted into four-year colleges. NDCR continues to keep connected with its graduates to ensure that they have our support to complete college. In 2008, NDCR also received accreditation from the New England Association of Schools and Colleges. Notre Dame Cristo High School has been called a little piece of heaven in the city of Lawrence. Our school currently educates 292 students who come mostly from the city of Lawrence and are of Latino descent, the majority coming from the Dominican Republic. Our students are the first in their families to attend college with a median income of $35,700 a year. There are limits set on how much money a family can have in order for their son or daughter to attend Notre Dame. This is because our school is aimed at students who can't afford to attend other private college prep high schools. Our claim to fame has been the 100% acceptance rate to four-year colleges. While not all our students are able to attend a four-year school after graduation because of finances, they know that they are capable of that level of work. Not only do our students get accepted to college, 98% of our students stay in college from freshman to sophomore year. From our class of 2009, 61% of our students graduated from college, compared to only 9% of students from a similar background. The Corporate Work Study program is particularly proud of our Notre Dame students because of their outstanding work performance. As you can see from the chart, our students are ranked number 1 in the network for overall performance in the workplace compared to 34 other schools in the Cristo Rey network. Notre Dame Cristo Rey High School has held this first place distinction for the last 11 out of 13 times. These results are based on the mid-year and year-end performance review surveys completed by our supervisors every year. If you are a returning supervisor, you may remember completing one of these last year. Supervisors are asked to rate their students on a number of professional skills such as initiative, judgment, and communication. Our NDCR students have outperformed their counterparts across the country on these skills for the past 7 years. Our student performance is in large part due to the wonderful and dedicated supervisors our students work with every day. As you can see, we are very proud of the accomplishments of our students. We believe that our students reach such accomplishments because of the high standards we hold the students to at work and school. We know we ask a lot of our students, but when challenged, our students rise to the occasion. In order to continue to hold these high standards, we want to make you aware of some of the key corporate work study policies. As you probably know by now, every workday, students come to work with a blue time card. The tracking of the students' hours is required by the Department of Labor, but is also a great opportunity to get feedback on a student's performance. Every day, your student should have a designated person in the department rate their performance for the day. Time card ratings help students know where they stand performance-wise and are factored into their quarterly corporate work study grade. When students are rated on their performance every day, this helps facilitate discussion between students and supervisors. Students want to do well. Give the students the feedback they need. If students are falling short and are graded lower on a particular day, students will self-correct. Many supervisors are afraid to give constructive criticism or rate students with 1s or 2s because they do not want to hurt the students' feelings or their grade. One lower time card grade will not pull their term grade down too far, as there are many things factored into their CWSP grade. Students will not grow professionally, however, if they are not given the feedback they need. Time cards are also a great way to help highlight outstanding work by students. If your student really goes above and beyond, tell us about it. Students who are given really glowing remarks in the comments on their time cards are awarded a High Praise Award. High Praise Awards are given to students during the all-school assemblies we hold twice a month. The student's grade also consists of a twice-a-year performance review, which I spoke about earlier in the presentation. These performance reviews are standardized by the Cristo Rey network. The performance review is the most detailed feedback we get on the student during the year and makes up a large portion of the student's grade. We really encourage consistency between the time cards and performance reviews. For example, students receiving 5s all year should not be receiving a 1 or a 2 overall on their performance review. If students are not performing well at work, we need to hear from you as early as possible so students are not surprised on their performance review. This is a visual of the student time card. Students are required to complete time cards for a corporate study grade as well as for the Department of Labor. Corporate study policies and procedures. One of the reasons we believe our students perform so well is because of the strict rules and high expectations set by Notre Dame Cristo High School and the corporate study program. While a complete list of corporate study policies and procedures are included in the CWSP Handbook, we want to highlight a few of the most important ones. These 3 policies are part of what we call the slippery slope. Supervisors should be as strict as they can when it comes to cell phones, dress code, and absences, so it does not get out of hand. As you know, cell phones have become such a prevalent part of today's culture and everyday life. This is even more so in the lives of young people. Because of this, we are particularly strict with the students regarding cell phone use at work. Students should not be using cell phones at any point during their workday and can only have their phones out during break times. We know students like to be connected at all times, and if their phones are out, then the temptation is to look at them. Related to this, we also urge supervisors not to let students listen to music at work, as this disconnects them from others in the office. Students with electronic devices out will be liable to check messages and other notifications on their devices. The policy at school is very strict regarding cell phone use. Students have to have devices off and out of sight all day. If a student is caught with their device out, the device is confiscated and is not given back until the end of the day. Repeat offenses also require parents to pick up the device instead of the student, as well as detentions. Dress code is also an important policy for corp work study. Students are required to wear their Notre Dame uniform to work to ensure that all students look professional in the workplace. On the next slide, you will see a photo of our picture-perfect students. The uniforms also show others in your company where our students come from and help spread the word about Notre Dame. Before our students wore their uniforms to work, many coworkers were surprised to hear that the students were only in high school, thinking they were perhaps college interns. They could not believe that someone so young was so professional. We want people to know about Notre Dame and see how great our students are. The last policy we'd like to stress is attendance. We constantly remind students how much supervisors count on their work and the impact it has when they're absent. When students are absent, we coordinate makeup days with the supervisor and the student during one of the school vacations such as Christmas, February, April, and June. We leave the decision up to supervisors about whether or not that day needs to be made up. We urge supervisors to have students complete makeup days, as this reinforces their importance to the team and their company. If supervisors waive their student absences, then it is more likely that the student will miss more days. That being said, Notre Dame had 7 snow days last year, and many supervisors were kind enough to waive their snow days for the students. We are hoping to have a milder winter than last year. If you have absent students from corp work study, we will contact you in the weeks before a school vacation to discuss makeup day options. Picture perfect students. Students wear navy blue or khaki pants, and girls can wear skirts. On top, students wear either navy blue or white button-up shirts and must wear either a sweater vest or cardigan to work. Girls can wear small earrings to work, however boys are not allowed to wear earrings. As you can see from the photo, our students look great in their uniforms, and it ensures that students are presenting their best selves at work. We do have a small number of work sites where the nature of the work would damage their uniform or restrict their ability to work. In these cases, we arrange for a uniform allowance contract, and the students are given a Notre Dame t-shirt to wear to work instead. Taking students off campus. When students are at work, they are the responsibility of Notre Dame and the corporate study program. Because of this, NDCR students are not allowed to leave their work sites without a supervisor. If supervisors would like to take students off campus for lunch, meetings, etc., there are just a few ground rules. Corp work study should be contacted with as much notice as possible with information about the trip. Supervisors will be asked to complete an off-campus request form. Included in the requested information will be the cell phone numbers of those adults on the trip in case we need to get in touch. If a supervisor would like to take a student off campus to a nearby location and will be walking, then only one supervisor needs to be present. If a student will be traveling in a car, then 2 adults must be present. To ensure the student's safety, we are now requiring 2 adults. Our students' safety is our top priority. Here are some helpful tips for anyone working with our students. Prepare to provide enough work for the full 8 hours that a student is present. We want to make sure that each partner is getting the most out of the corp work study program. Plus, students love being busy. Sit with your students early on to provide adequate training so they can be a productive asset to your team. We know our supervisors are very busy, but by taking the time to meet with the students at the beginning, you are laying the foundation to a mutually beneficial working relationship. Help students understand how to prioritize the tasks they have been assigned and some context regarding the tasks. By giving your student information about the big picture and office priorities, he or she can help you meet important deadlines and even improve efficiency in the office. Expose students to other parts of your organization. Our students are new to the workplace, and the opportunities for learning at your organizations are endless. Introduce them to different departments, bring them to meetings, and teach them about what your company does. Opportunities like this broaden our students' minds and the possibilities for their future. Encourage students to use their fresh perspectives to provide you with new ideas on how to improve process efficiencies. Because students come with new eyes and energy, they may come up with new ways to do old tasks. Build in a checkpoint during the day to reassess completion deadlines. Communication is key in the workplace, and students are learning. Checking in with students regularly lets them know you are there for them and make sure that students are on track to finish on time. Have lunch with students. Share who you are as a person and involve them in the department activities. Students know they are at your organization to work, but sometimes have trouble with the more casual and social aspects of their workday. Students who enjoy their jobs the most are those who say their supervisors and coworkers treat them like one of the team and connect with their teammates. After training has been completed, have students document their knowledge so it can be shared with other students. Students can help make training materials and procedure booklets for other students to help streamline trainings for others. Communicate with Corp Work Study. We are here to help. No issue too small, and we are always available. We want to make sure you are getting the most out of your Corp Work Study program experience. Have fun. Students provide a fun energy and perspective in the workplace. And the bonus tip is food. Students love food, so you can't go wrong. We tell supervisors that if they can manage student workers, then they can manage anyone. Working with our students is a great learning experience for professionals to help develop their managerial skills. Hopefully these tips will be helpful for you with our students and beyond. Supervisor resources. Available to supervisors are some additional resources. Corp Work Study has subscriptions to a computer training program called AES, or Applied Educational Systems. This program helps students improve their computer skills for the workplace. Our freshmen, sophomores, and junior classes use this program to help them improve their computer skills. We know that computer skills are becoming more and more important in the workplace. If you find your student is struggling with computer projects or has extra downtime at work, they may be able to be working on different AES modules online. All students have also been provided with logins and passwords for typing.com to work on their speed and accuracy while typing. Please contact Corp Work Study if you are interested in more information. Our Notre Dame Cristo website is also a great resource for supervisors. Available online are printable time cards, the Corp Work Study calendar, makeup forms, and student and supervisor handbooks. You can visit www.ndcrhs.org to access these resources. Corp Work Study has started a dedicated group on LinkedIn for supervisors to ask questions and discuss the program. Feel free to join our group using the link. We also love to know what's happening at your organizations. Please send us photos, newsletters, or any updates about our students and what they are doing at work. To know more about what's going on at NDCR, you should be receiving e-newsletters from us every month. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the NDCR LinkedIn page. The key to our program is communication. We want to know what's going on with your companies and with your students. Call us, email us, or send us a note on your student's time card. We are here to help. We will also be checking in during the year for our site visits. The U.S. Department of Labor requires that we conduct 2 site visits per year to ensure the student's safety in the workplace. These are mostly a formality, but a great way to meet with supervisors face-to-face. One visit is usually conducted in the fall and the other in the spring. Fred Gilfeather, who supports Corp Work Study on a part-time basis, conducts many of these visits. Many of you may already know Fred. We hope the supervisor training has been helpful, and we have answered many of the questions you have. If there is anything we have not covered, please feel free to give us a call. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to having a successful year. Thank you. With your help, we are transforming lives. Together we work.